a very exciting project in downtown Battle Creek. It's the Record Box at 15 Carlisle. The owners of the building, Cody and Caitlynn Newman, are with us right now. And good morning. Nice to see you again.
Good morning.
Nice to see you.
It's been almost a year, I think, since it was first announced that you guys were buying the old factory down there, right across the river from what was the Cereal City, USA, right across that's the Battle Creek River there, I guess. And I remember when Fred Crandall had office ways in there, and Rapid Eye Art Supply was down in the basement, and I think that was probably the last time the building got significant use until you guys came along. But
yep, that's correct.
Yeah, and that was a while ago. I mean, what, that's kind of empty for what, 10, 15 years?
I think we figured out it was almost 20.
Almost 20
Almost 20 years.
My goodness. And now this building was built a long time ago. When?
It was built in 1902. So it was built as the Record Printing and Box Company. So that is why we named the building the Record Box. We wanted to pay homage to its historic roots.
Yeah, in Record Box, you know, people think about music too when they hear records. I don't know. Is there any kind of tie in there?
Well, we will have that multi-purpose event space.
Yeah.
So possibly concerts happening there.
Yeah. Oh.
If any interest in the future.
Well, that could be great. So what's the status right now of the Record Box at 15 Carlisle?
Yeah, so we're working right now. We've signed all the contractor contracts. They've been in and out of the building over the past month, verifying all the sizes, ordering equipment, you know, kind of getting things ready to rock and roll there. And then we've been working very closely with the bank and the tax credits, and hopefully this week or next week, in the next 2 weeks, sign all the final papers on the dotted line.
So with the tax credits, what that means is we're actually nominating the building to be on the National Historic Register. So when you do that, it's a very extensive process that you submit to the State Historic Preservation Office for approval. You have to nominate, and there's lots of paperwork along with that. And then once they approve, it then gets submitted to the National Park Service for approval. We submitted this back in August for this nomination, and they submitted it. Normally they have 30 days. It took them 138 days. And that was 2 days before the government shut down. So once they submitted it to the federal level, we sat idle for 2 months with that process. Then in return, you get these historic tax credits. So that was what actually our bank is what they call syndicating the tax credits. So they basically sell them to them at a certain rate on the dollar.
So is that a done deal, or is that what you're anticipating will be finalized?
The tax credits are finalized. So we got the approval for the Part 1 and the Part 2. It's just been all the due diligence. You know, the bank has 30 days to review it. There's a lot of people that have time to review things.
So, I mean, and this isn't the first project that, I mean, you guys live in maybe one of 3 people that live in downtown Battle Creek today, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we live in the Rat Eye building, which is another historic building built in 1914. And we have been living downtown for 3 years, and that's kind of what sparked our interest for downtown development. And we just have this huge passion for historic preservation and the importance of preserving the very few historic buildings we have left in Battle Creek.
So how has it been? Has it been more than what you thought when you were first getting into it more than a year ago?
Well, our first building is how many square feet? It's
nine. Well, I guess 6,000. The basement's not really usable.
Yeah, 6,000, and this next building is 19,000. So we've increased that quite a bit, and it's a lot more square footage. It definitely is a lot. You know, we went into it, and we kind of jokingly say, if we knew as much as we know now, I don't know, it might have been a different story. But we are doing the best that we can. There's good days and bad days. Some days we question ourselves, and other days we, you know,
well,
are patting each other in the back.
Luckily, you have that team of 100 lawyers working well, wait a minute. Is it just you guys pretty much?
It is. Just, you know, this is the whole team of Restore 269, our building restoration and development company.
Yeah, and we're the architect, developer. We worked with a few engineers, but we're overseeing everything.
And it's all about sweat equity to make this project work at the Record Box. We are doing all the demo and rough in work ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. What's the status of the building right now in terms of roof, windows, floors, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I can talk a little on that. Right now, the windows have all been ordered. There's 109 new windows. Those will come in. Those will be towards the end of construction. So in July, that'll be like a month probably that it'll take for them to replace all the windows. Same thing with the elevator. It'll go in July. That'll be about a month process to get that hooked up.
What type of elevator? Will it be a freight elevator or
It'll be a people elevator.
Okay.
Hydraulic elevator, yep. So ADA access all throughout the building.
We are using the existing, it was an old freight elevator, so we're using that existing elevator shaft. And we hope to use it. We're trying to save some elements of the historic pieces of the building, so that old freight elevator will probably be something that you see inside the building.
Oh, neat. Yeah. And how's the roof?
Roof is good. It was replaced in 2015, I believe. So it's 4 years old now. So it's in great shape.
It had some water damage in the past, but once they replaced that roof, that stabilized things.
When I was in there looking too, I might have asked you this before, but I forgot what you told me. But back on maybe the south end of the building, there's this gigantic crack in the wall. Did you have structural engineers look at that?
We did. Yep. Neal Civic, they're an engineering group out of Kalamazoo. They specialize in historic buildings. They came and took a look at it, and we're working with Building Restoration Inc. So they're the ones that are currently cleaning up the Kellogg's headquarters building, and they're the experts in masonry around here. So we've been working with them. They're going to grout through that solid. So that's the solution for that. They're the experts on that, and they were able to figure it out with the engineers.
Oh, good. So there's a fix for it. It's
Yep.
It's not going to be a major hurdle or anything.
No.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I guess what's the plan for the building then? You alluded a little bit to a space where we might have concerts, but tell us what the vision. I know what it was a year ago, but has it changed?
The vision has not changed. And all the construction documents are done, so everything that we have done is pretty much set in stone in writing. We have on the first floor the brewery still going in. We have a great group that we're working with. They'll brew on site and have their kitchen and tap room. On the second floor, we have a web design company, Ministry Designs. They've been in business for 5 years, who will be going on the second floor. And then 2,000 square feet of the second floor, and the whole third floor will be that multi-purpose event space. So weddings, corporate events, fundraisers. We have already inquiries for weddings and holiday parties and artisan market I'd love to see up there. So we need a space like that with all that kind of character, and just for people to come and gather and be, have community. This building's about community.
Wow. That sounds fabulous. Yeah. Would it be possible, like, for bands to maybe rehearse up there, or or have open rehearsals and that kind of thing?
Yeah. It's 6,000 square feet on the third floor. It's a large space, and we have 2 private rooms up in there, so they can, if they need to get together before the event or after the event, they have a private area that they could do that as well. And we have all new bathrooms. We have to have bathrooms on every floor.
Yep. With 10-foot wide doors.
Pretty much. Yep.
Yeah.
And we have a new stairwell going in. We had to add another stairwell. So.
For fire code?
Yep.
I see, yeah. Well, it sounds like it's going to be, well, obviously will be totally ADA compliant and accessible for everybody.
Yes.
Is the front entrance ADA right now?
The front entrance is not, because there's a step into it, and then there's like 5 steps down to the lower level and 6 up to the second floor. So that's why we're adding a ramp on the south end of the building. There'll be a ramp from the sidewalk and a new entrance put in down there. So
Oh,
that'll
okay.
be our ADA compliant entrance down on that end.
Ah, got it. Is the interior, like right now, it's got that factory look with all the old brick and everything. Is that going to be maintained, or are the walls going?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're not going to put plaster walls
No,
up.
we actually taking down quite a bit of all that old.
Uh-huh.
They just had
From the-
drywall. That's what they had put up when Office Waste was in there on the ceilings and stuff. But
Yeah,
we're
that
gonna
old
just have,
textured drywall that pokes you. And,
Oh
yeah,
yeah. So you've had to haul that out of there yourself.
that's coming out.
yeah, that's
Yep.
going away, and there was some asbestos removal that we had that done as well.
Yeah, lead paint. You got to be very careful in the removal of that. And
Yep.
yeah, so there's a lot of things, moving pieces, we always say, that are going on.
Should have had a drum roll ready, or maybe we'll have a drum roll later, because we still don't really know. You guys know, but the public does not know. This is like the best kept secret. the mystery brewery that's going in the first level at 15 Carlisle at the record box. Who are they?
So
You're like,
you'll hear first today. Sorry, not yet.
You're like my mom before Christmas.
They've said
anything.
They've said that they will announce early summer. So early this summer we will know, which is, it feels like just around the corner. So
Yeah,
very,
just a couple
very
months
soon
away.
there'll be a big announcement on who they are.
Yeah. Be great if it was in time for the cereal festival, but that's still spring. Maybe a little too early.
possibly.
Right,
Yeah.
no, around that time. Yeah,
Yeah?
it's early June, I think.
Yeah.
So
Well, we're
Yeah.
excited to hear
we're
about that.
hoping, maybe we'll have some kind of open house at the building, and Spring into the Arts is coming up end of May, and with the chamber, and we talked about maybe having a little sampling there. So we'll see if we can do that.
Oh, that would be neat, because
Mhm.
people get in and see the progress and get as excited about it as I am, and I'm sure you guys are pretty excited too, because you finally getting all the little pieces of the puzzle with the financing and all that out of the way. Then you can really roll up your sleeve. Well, I know you've already had them rolled up, but I mean, you could really get into
That's right.
to the final stretch. You must be driving you crazy waiting for that.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. But you got to play the game to win.
So picture it. This is 15 Carlisle, right around the corner of the Rat Eye building where you live, and right between those two is the Anson Hotel. What's the status of that?
So there was an RFP out for a restaurant downtown Battle Creek that was due on March 22nd or 23rd, whatever that Friday was. And so with that, we actually we've partnered up with someone for the first floor, and then we would like to do some condos upstairs in there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's a little bit of an odd building in that it was once a hotel, so it's very compartmentalized, small rooms in a big square around, the exterior of the building. So you would kind of maintain that and have living quarters maintained there?
Yeah, there's kind of like a central atrium in the space. So what we would do is we'd put a skylight over the atrium, and then we'd make that a stairway and common area. So that would be kind of a means of egress there. And then all the units would have access out through the back or the front door from there.
So you don't know how many other people applied for that, or whether you'll get that. It's what, $200,000
to the restaurant.
For the restaurant.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, for their RFP. So we don't know yet. I think that'll be announced probably summer as well if we were awarded that. We don't know if anyone else submitted or how many at this point.
We know a few of the other sites are very enticing with the Heritage Tower. There are a couple spots for restaurants within the tower as well. So were multiple locations for a new restaurant or multiple restaurants.
Did the water damage inside the Anson Hotel scare you guys?
Not as much as we thought. Everyone's told us the horror stories of how bad it is, but honestly, most of the wood in the building is shot. Absolutely, water is pretty
The
bad
wooden
for
floors
that.
are all buckled and
Yes.
rotted.
Yep, but all the masonry is solid. So that was what was, as an architect and having the building side of it, that's what gave us reassurance, because people walk through and they're like, oh my gosh, there's a hole in the floor here where the wood's rotted, and I'm like, well, wood's relatively inexpensive to replace compared to entire load-bearing masonry walls. So
Yeah, it was sad when I toured it. There was a weird drain coming off the flat roof that came down through the ceiling on the top floor and then elbowed 90 degrees out the wall. And the elbow was gone.
Yeah.
And so the water just came off the roof and dropped right onto the matched lumber floor. It was a beautiful floor at one time. And then trickled down to all 3 floors and pretty much wrecked everything.
Yeah. Yep,
That's
I had
sad.
that tin ceiling in the lower level, and that's
Yeah.
pretty damaged as well.
Yeah.
But it's so important that we need to preserve all this history, because we have very few left in Battle Creek.
That building is a little unique. It kind of has a courtyard sort of a thing in
Yeah.
the middle that you could do something with, and so I could see that it could be an attractive restaurant space in that first level.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens there, and we'll look for an announcement on a possible open house in the spring.
Yeah.
And then keep our ears open for the mystery brewery announcement in early summer. Well, good luck. If there's anything we can do to kind of help you guys, I'm sure the community would love to get behind you any way we can.
Well, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
we appreciate it.
All right, Cody and Caitlynn Newman, the owners of the Record Box 15 Carlisle,